Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
Alright y'all, chapter 80 spoilers has just been released, and a couple of crazy things happened in this. And of course, I'm pretty sure everybody here pretty much knows already, but Sarada actually unlocks her Mangekyou Sharingan. Now this right here is something that I've wanted for a very long time, and something that I've recently talked about on my podcast. I said that during times like this, when everything is essentially in chaos, everybody takes on a new important role, a lot of the side characters tend to get power-ups like out of nowhere, like Kakashi out of nowhere getting double Mangekyou Sharingans. And I think that these are situations in Boruto that we absolutely need, just because of the sheer fact that a lot of the side characters have not actually gotten those much needed character development moments. Right now, just in this arc, we're seeing Mitsuki get his chuck, we're seeing Mitsuki get his Sage Mode, we're seeing Sarada get her Mangekyou Sharingan, and Sarada's Mangekyou Sharingan right here was absolutely necessary for a couple of reasons. Now, we don't necessarily get any of her abilities. We just get the fact that she actually did unlock her Mangekyou Sharingan. Now this right here is huge for a couple of reasons. First things first, we understand that now she's going to have it throughout the time skip, so she's going to have 3+ years or possibly 2+ years of actually training with her Mangekyou Sharingan, so we can understand that post time skip she's probably going to have some sort of level of understanding of the Mangekyou Sharingan. And for you guys who aren't necessarily completely familiar, that's probably going to be more development that she had with the Mangekyou Sharingan than Sasuke had with his Mangekyou Sharingan. I definitely do want to see exactly how they scale this up to actually be like an actual credible good dojutsu. And I'm saying that because I do have faith in the Boruto rise of not necessarily having Sarada fall behind too much. They've shown the willingness to actually put her first and in front multiple times already. She was the first Chunin on the team. They literally kicked Konohamaru out to make Sarada the captain. During the Boruto fight, everybody knew she was the captain. She was the guy, she was the gal. So when it comes to the track record, albeit in the past couple of years I have been saying that they've been slacking off with Sarada, and that's why they absolutely needed to add something like this. And I'm super happy that they did add something like this. I was literally just telling my guy Mello, oh my, it shows me that they do have Sarada in mind, and it shows me that it's possible that in the future they do have something special in store for her, which makes me believe that some of her Mangekyou Sharingan abilities can possibly be on par with some of the new abilities that we do see in Boruto. Now I understand it's probably going to be some things that a lot of people don't necessarily like in terms of the Mangekyou Sharingan now being like significantly stronger than what it was in the past. They do have some of that in like Dragon Ball Z, where hey, the new Super Saiyans were extremely stronger than the Super Saiyans were in the past, and of course when they went Super Saiyan 2 it was like they were now competing with gods. And I get some people are not necessarily going to like it too much, but this is how it's going to go. I mean, I don't necessarily think that Sarada is probably going to get a significant power up until post time skip. So when we do come back from post time skip, I don't necessarily expect Sarada to be the complete bottom of the barrel. So I do expect some of the Mangekyou Sharingan abilities to be absolutely insane. Like I expect it to be absolutely different. And another thing I expect from Sarada, I expect Sarada to be one of the characters like Sasuke or Shikamaru. I expect Sarada to actually be one of those smart type of characters. So some of her Mangekyou Sharingan abilities could possibly mimic some of that. I don't necessarily expect a lot of her Mangekyou Sharingan abilities to be a complete attacking arsenal. Maybe do I want a Susanoo? Yeah, I definitely want a Susanoo. Do I want Amaterasu? Absolutely, I want Amaterasu. Even though Amaterasu could definitely be used for defensive purposes, I just specifically want to see some completely different abilities. Throw in a bunch of genjutsu, like Itachi level genjutsu. Throw in, I don't know, some sort of omnipotent abilities like Ada. Just throw in some absolutely ridiculous stuff that, you know, we've never really seen before in the series. And I think because this is Boruto, the writers have a bunch of free range. Not only that, you could bake in the fact that hey, she is part Haruno, she's not necessarily 100% Uchiha, so some of her abilities can possibly be even stronger, quote unquote, than the regular Uchihas. They did kind of explain that with Gohan being extremely strong back in Dragon Ball Z, and of course some of the other characters being extremely strong that were kind of half Saiyans and half humans. This right here, I mean, this right here could definitely open the door for Sarada to be extremely strong now that she does have the Mangekyou Sharingan. I know a lot of you guys have kind of been like complaining about Sarada potentially having her glasses. I mean, I don't know, could this mean that Sarada is now not necessarily going to have her glasses now? Could this possibly be the moment where she just throws her glasses away and she just has her regular eyes? I think a bunch of questions could definitely be asked. And not only that, I mean, one of the things that we do have to point out, I mean, Sarada's own abilities, and we talk about her chakra control, and we talk about her abilities to actually manipulate chakra, that's going to probably put her ahead of the game in regards to actually controlling a lot of her chakra to, you know, use the Mangekyou Sharingan. But we still do have to talk about how earlier on, I mean, it was still a struggle for her to actually use her Sharingan even when she did have 3 Tomos. What is the situation going to be now that she has a literal Mangekyou Sharingan, a character like Sasuke who had a bunch of chakra? Now, don't get me wrong, he wasn't necessarily Naruto level, but he was still adept in regards to chakra, and of course a natural born Uchiha member. He himself was kind of struggling with the chakra that he had to output for the Mangekyou Sharingan. How is Sarada now going to be able to handle something like this? Now, I definitely do expect post-time skip. I think this right here might have actually been necessary for Sarada to get all those hardships out of the way a little bit earlier off screen, so we don't necessarily have to sit through Sarada essentially struggling with the Mangekyou Sharingan as much. Now, I think post-time skip, she's probably still going to struggle with it, but it's not necessarily going to be nearly as much as she would struggle with it as of right now. I definitely 1000% expect Sarada's chakra reserves to be a lot bigger post time skip, and not only that, scientific technology might even get so insane to where the fact that, you know, you might even have chakra generators where you just have a bunch of chakra in your pocket, and then Sarada just doesn't even really need to worry about her chakra reserves. There's a bunch of possibilities, but this right here, oh my goodness, bro, I forgot this was honestly supposed to be a chapter review, but I spent like 10 minutes on Sarada's Sharingan. Yo, a lot of people think I hate Sarada. I don't hate Sarada, bro. I really want the best for Sarada, but when I do criticize the roles that Sarada plays, especially on my podcast, I see the problems with Sarada. Now, I'll talk about that a little bit on my main channel right here. Sarada kind of being the reason why Boruto got his scar, it's kind of a difficult thing to accept, but I personally got past that. My problem with Sarada kind of goes way past that, and it kind of like piggybacks off of this particular thing right here. For example, going into the battle, if Boruto got his scar trying to save Sarada because she was useless, albeit, okay, never mind, I don't really care about that. My problem is the fact that she entered the battle without her Sharingans activated, and that right there, in my personal opinion, it's still very confusing, and it's going to be a very like worrying thing over the time skip, because I don't know a reason as to why she doesn't have her Sharingans activated. And the reason why it's going to be significantly worrying now is because now she has her Mangekyou Sharingans. And now this right here is going to be an actual plot line thing that they need to develop. And if she's consistently going into battle with her Sharingans and not activated, how are we going to develop that plot line? And if that's the case, then it doesn't necessarily seem like they have a plan forward for Sarada. That right there would be like the biggest problem that I personally have. Now, again, I did talk about how I definitely do believe that, you know, the Boruto writers have some sort of plan for Sarada. I do have some sort of level of faith in the Boruto writers, but as of right now, I still do have to say, them not necessarily showing Sarada's Sharingans a bunch in the manga is still kind of troubling and worrisome to me. And it wasn't necessarily this only situation. She didn't have her Sharingans activated versus Ao when they were essentially in the trenches. She didn't have her Sharingans activated versus Boruto and Mitsuki when they were sparring with the scientific technology. I mean, and don't get me wrong, these are like very slight things, and probably not necessarily, probably less of the Ao thing, more of the sparring with Boruto and Mitsuki with scientific technology. That's like a slighter thing, but when we talk about fights that Sarada has in the manga, there's like a handful, and like she's not activating her Sharingans through like half of these battles, more than half of these battles. So it's like, when are we going to actually get to see the Sharingan? And of course, with the Mangekyou Sharingan coming to the anime, as I said a bit earlier, that's going to be significantly more scrutinized now. And again, I just never really want to make a big deal about these things, because it just seems like one of the weirdest things. Like, why don't you just show her having her Sharingan? She doesn't even have to do anything with the Sharingan, just show that she has it. But let me know what you guys think about this right here in the comment section down below. But I'm 1000% excited, elated, and absolutely over the moon about Sarada actually getting her Mangekyou Sharingan. This right here, in my personal opinion, is definitely going to be the start of Sarada taking a bigger role in the series. But I definitely do want to know what you guys think about Sarada finally getting her Mangekyou Sharingan in the comment section down below. I want to know exactly how they're going to handle this one, man. But it's me, your boy Barry B, and we out.
It's a knife.